Have you ever noticed how often you find yourself awake at 2 or maybe 3 in the morning, even when your bladder is hardly full? For so many of us, it feels like an unavoidable part of getting older. A small annoyance we just have to accept. But what if I told you that a simple trip to the bathroom is far more dangerous than you think? Doctors have a name for it, Nocturia. But I call it the silent thief. Because night after night, it quietly steals your deep, restorative sleep. And here is the nightmare that no one talks about. That broken sleep weakens your immune system, it fogs your memory, and shocking research is now showing it dramatically increases the risk of a dangerous fall in the dark. A single fall that can change everything. But as a family doctor who has sat with hundreds of patients just like you, I'm here to tell you that this is not your destiny. Today, I'm going to show you something most doctors never get the chance to mention in a short office visit. A simple, gentle method that can help you reclaim your nights. This isn't just theory from a medical book. I'm talking about real people with real stories. People like Eleanor in Ohio and Robert down in Florida who thought peaceful sleep was a thing of the past until they learned this. In this video, I will guide you, step by step, through 3 powerful points on your body that you can press for just a few minutes before bed. This method is safe, it costs nothing, and it can help calm your nerves and retrain your body signals to let you sleep through the night. And please, make sure you stay with me until the very end. Because the third point I'll reveal is the one that ties everything together. Understanding it is the key to making this a lasting change, and it's something I truly believe everyone over 60 needs to know. Before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of us share this story. If what I've just described feels familiar to you, please take a moment and comment a simple yes below. It lets me know I'm speaking to your experience, and it shows others in our community that they are not alone. Okay, let's begin. Alright, let's start by understanding the heart of the matter. We're going to begin with the most important question of all. Why the body after 60 wakes up too often? So many of us in America quietly share the same story. A story that unfolds in the deep silence of the night. It's the story of waking at 2 or 3 in the morning, with that familiar urge to go to the bathroom, even when you just know, your bladder isn't truly full. At first, it feels like a small nuisance, something you simply accept as another part of getting older. But as I've seen in my years of practice, night after restless night, these interruptions begin to add up. They leave your mornings feeling heavier, your memory a little less sharp, and your energy harder and harder to find. To truly understand why this happens, we need to look at 2 simple, biological changes that are quietly taking place inside your body. It's not your fault. It is simply the science of aging. First, let's talk about a very important hormone called vasopressin. When we are young, we think of this hormone as a gentle, reliable messenger. Every night, it travels to your kidneys and delivers a simple instruction: slow down. It's time to rest. The kidneys obey, and they produce less urine, allowing you to sleep deeply and without interruption. But after the age of 60, this messenger often becomes less reliable. The vasopressin levels in the body naturally decline, so that nightly message to the kidneys doesn't get delivered as clearly. Without that instruction, your kidneys keep working almost as if it were still daytime, producing more urine at the very hours your body is desperate to heal and recharge. Does this scientific reason make sense to you? If it does, and you're having a little aha moment of understanding, just take a second to comment on the word understand below. It helps me know if my explanation is clear enough for you. Now, at the very same time, another change is happening with the bladder itself. When you were younger, your bladder was remarkably resilient. It could comfortably hold nearly 16 ounces of fluid, that's close to 2 full cups, before sending a strong signal to your brain. But as we age, the bladder wall can become more sensitive, and its capacity might shrink. Suddenly, it might only hold around 5 ounces, barely half a cup, before it decides to sound the alarm. It sends these urgent false alarms to your brain, making you feel a pressing need to go, even when it's not truly necessary. This combination of the kidneys working overtime and a bladder that has become overly sensitive is the core reason for those frustrating nighttime trips. And I want to repeat something incredibly important. This is not a personal failure. It is biology, quietly shifting with age. The result of this shift is that feeling of being drained, of living life on a half-empty battery. These aren't just scientific facts on a page. They are real stories, happening in homes just like yours, from coast to coast. I think of my patient, Eleanor, a wonderful grandmother from Ohio. She told me how she had to rise 3 times each night, carefully shuffling through the dark hallway. By morning, she felt completely drained before her day had even begun. Or I think of Robert, a proud retired veteran down in Florida. He confessed that he found himself becoming more irritable with his wife and grandkids, not because he was an angry man, but because he never ever reached that deep, healing sleep his body and spirit craved. These stories break my heart because the exhaustion is so real. Yet, within this challenge, lies a tremendous amount of hope. Because knowing the cause, truly understanding the why behind it all, is the very first step. It gives you the power to respond. It opens the door to the simple, gentle adjustments we're going to talk about today. Adjustments that can help you reclaim your nights and wake up with renewed strength. Everyday habits that quietly make the problem worse. Now that we understand the biological shifts happening inside our bodies, let's talk about something that is very much within our control. You see, for many of us, our bodies after 60 can feel like a puzzle that keeps changing its rules. Just when you think you've learned them, something new pops up. While our biology sets the stage for these nighttime interruptions, it's often our simple, daily habits that are unknowingly inviting the problem to get worse. Some of these choices seem so small, so harmless. Yet, night after night, they quietly add weight to the problem until a full night of restful sleep feels almost impossible. Let's look at some of these common culprits, these quiet sleep saboteurs. The first, and perhaps most common, is our evening drinking habits, especially after 7 p.m. When you sip a large glass of water, or enjoy a big, comforting bowl of hot soup late in the evening, you're essentially giving your bladder a task it has little chance to complete before you lie down. As we discussed, your kidneys are already working harder at night, and flooding your system with fluids late in the day is like asking them to work a double shift. It's a habit many of us learned in youth, but what was once soothing can become disruptive with age. Next, let's talk about salt. It plays a surprisingly large role. Many of us enjoy the convenience of a canned soup, a sandwich with deli meat for dinner, or even a late-night snack of crackers or chips. These foods are often loaded with sodium. I want you to think of sodium as a magnet for water inside your body. It pulls fluid into your bloodstream, and eventually, your kidneys have to work extra hard to flush all of that excess fluid out. The result is simple: more trips to the bathroom at precisely the wrong time. Caffeine and alcohol add another layer to this challenge. That late afternoon cup of coffee, a tall glass of sweet iced tea with dinner, or even a rich piece of chocolate cake can still be active in your system when bedtime arrives. Caffeine is a double-edged sword. It's a stimulant that keeps your mind alert, while also acting as a mild diuretic, pushing fluid through your kidneys. Alcohol is equally deceptive. That glass of wine might make you feel drowsy at first, but it disrupts the deep, restorative stages of sleep later in the night and increases urine production. So many of my patients have told me they are stunned to find themselves wide awake at 2 a.m., restless and heading for the bathroom, after what they thought was a relaxing evening drink. And we must touch on a sensitive topic: medications. Many life-saving pills for high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart conditions are designed to be diuretics, intentionally drawing water out of the body. They are necessary, but the side effect is increased urination. I want to be clear: you should never ever stop taking a prescribed medication. But what you can do is have a conversation with your doctor. Simply ask about timing. Sometimes, shifting a dose from the evening to the morning can make a world of difference for your nights, without sacrificing your safety. Finally, we cannot ignore the power of the mind. Stress and anxiety feed this cycle. As we age, our nervous system can become more reactive, and the bladder often follows its lead. Worries about health, finances, or family. Even just the stress of making that monthly Social Security check of around $1,800 stretch far enough. All of it can tighten the body and trigger a sense of urgency that has very little to do with how full your bladder actually is. I remember a retired gentleman from Florida, a wonderful man named Arthur, who for years just accepted that waking up 3 or 4 times a night was his new reality. He loved his evening glass of sweet iced tea. But after his daughter gently suggested he try cutting it out after dinner, he noticed something remarkable. Within just 1 week, he was sleeping 6 uninterrupted hours, something he told me he hadn't enjoyed in years. His mornings felt lighter, his mood was brighter, and his confidence slowly returned. His story is a beautiful reminder. The lesson is not that you must give up every comfort in life. It's that timing and moderation that matter more now than ever before. The long-term impact of lost sleep. For so many people, waking up 2 or 3 times each night just feels like a small annoyance. A frustration, certainly, but just a part of life. But I need to tell you, as your guide in this journey, the consequences of this nightly pattern slowly grow heavier over time. What begins as a few restless nights can gradually, and silently, begin to shape your health, your mood, and your safety in ways that are very easy to overlook. Sleep is not simply rest. Please, hear me on this. It is the fundamental process that allows nearly every system in your body to repair, reset, and recharge. And when that process is constantly broken, the effects ripple far beyond just feeling tired. Physically, consistently interrupted sleep weakens your immune system. It leaves your body less prepared to fight off simple infections and makes it harder to recover from any illness. More seriously, extensive studies have shown that seniors who consistently lose out on deep, restorative sleep are more likely to develop heart disease or struggle with rising blood sugar, which increases the risk for diabetes. Your body depends on those long, steady stretches of sleep to regulate hormones, heal tissues, and protect your heart. When that cycle is broken, night after night, month after month, the entire system is put under a quiet, constant strain. The effects on the mind are just as significant, and for many, far more frightening. Memory often feels less sharp after a poor night's rest. Concentration becomes harder to maintain. This is where those frustrating moments come from. Misplacing your keys, forgetting a familiar name, or feeling unusually irritable with the people you love most. Over time, these small lapses can feel terrifying, raising deep-seated worries about dementia or a permanent decline in your mental faculties. This isn't just a feeling. The link between interrupted sleep and mood disorders like depression and anxiety in older adults is incredibly strong. And then, there is the issue of safety. A simple, practical concern that carries enormous weight. Every time you rise from your warm bed into the darkness, your body is forced to adjust. You're balancing on feet that may already feel unsteady, with reflexes that might be a little slower than they once were. This quick transition dramatically increases the risk of a fall. And for those of us living alone, there's an added fear that a simple trip to the bathroom could lead to a dangerous fall with no one nearby to help. This is not an imaginary risk. Emergency rooms across America see thousands of cases every year where a serious injury began with that one restless trip out of bed. I want you to imagine your body is like a phone that never gets a full charge. Each morning, you wake up with only half the energy you truly need, and by the afternoon, that battery is already flashing red. That is what chronic sleep disruption does. It leaves you running on partial power, while quietly straining every single system you have. Now, this information can be alarming, but it's important. I'm not telling you this to create fear, but to empower you. To help you understand why the small adjustments we're about to discuss matter so very much. If any of this was new to you, just comment "wow" below. Simple lifestyle changes that make nights easier. When your sleep feels broken and your nights are filled with constant interruptions, it is so easy to believe the problem is completely beyond your control. It's easy to feel helpless. But I want to assure you that many seniors I have worked with have discovered something wonderful. That small, thoughtful adjustments in their daily routines can quietly reshape the body's rhythm, allowing for longer stretches of deep rest and calmer, brighter mornings. These changes may not seem dramatic, but when you put them together, they can powerfully reduce nighttime urination and restore a precious sense of balance to your life. Let's begin with change number 1. This is often the most powerful first step you can take. It is adjusting the timing of your fluids. Drinking plenty of water is still incredibly important for your health at every stage of life, but the key is when you drink it. By focusing on hydration during the morning and the afternoon, and then slowly reducing your intake after 4 or 5 p.m., you give your bladder a chance to process everything and rest overnight. A simple rule to start with is this: try to end full glasses of water before 7 in the evening. Hydrate early, and taper down by evening. Change number 2. Rethink your dinner habits. A meal that is heavy in salt, spicy flavors, or excess liquid, like a big bowl of soup, can push your bladder into overdrive at night. As we know, Sodium makes your body hold on to extra fluid, which the kidneys are then forced to flush out while you're trying to sleep. Spicy dishes can also irritate the bladder lining, making that feeling of urgency more likely. The solution is simple and gentle. Choose lighter evening meals. Think about simply swapping a salty canned soup for a baked potato with a little butter, or a small, fresh salad. It can make a surprising difference. Change number 3. Create a gentle bedtime routine. Your mind, just like your body, needs clear signals that the day is winding down. Instead of watching the often stressful late-night news on television or scrolling through your phone, try dedicating just 15 minutes to a calming ritual. This could be listening to soft music, practicing slow, deep breathing, or reading a light book. These activities lower stress hormones, slow the nervous system, and reduce the frantic signals that can make your bladder overreact. And finally, change number 4. Incorporate gentle movement during your day. This doesn't mean you need to start training for a marathon. A short walk of 20 to 30 minutes in the afternoon encourages circulation, eases tension, and supports better sleep at night. Movement is one of the best natural remedies for anxiety, helping to balance your energy levels so you can fall asleep more naturally. I think of a lovely grandmother I know from California, a woman named Carol, who struggled for years with restless nights. She started a simple, beautiful habit. At 9 o'clock, she would turn off her phone, put it in another room, and then spend 15 minutes reading a favorite novel. Within just a few weeks, she told me with a smile that she was sleeping for longer stretches without interruption, and waking up with so much more energy and far less frustration. Her story shows us the path to better sleep often begins not with a drastic measure, but with small, steady steps that slowly reshape the night. These choices are firmly in your hands. Acupressure, a natural and friendly solution. When restless nights keep returning, and more medications feel like the only answer, many of us quietly wish for a gentler option. A choice that feels kinder to our bodies. Acupressure offers exactly that. It is a simple, ancient practice where you use the gentle pressure of your own fingers on specific points of the body. Think of these points as little communication hubs, connected to the nerves and pathways that influence everything from sleep and relaxation to even your bladder function. The true beauty of acupressure is its profound simplicity. There are no pills to swallow, no prescriptions to refill, and no side effects to fear. It is something you can do right in the comfort of your own home, perhaps while sitting in your favorite armchair in the evening, or resting on the edge of your bed before you lie down. For those of us who are already managing several medications, this natural, self-healing tool feels safe, manageable, and empowering. It's a way of taking your health back into your own hands. Though its roots stretch back centuries in Eastern traditions, acupressure is now being rediscovered all across America. Many modern physical therapy clinics and wellness centers are quietly teaching seniors how to use these gentle techniques to calm their bodies and minds. Researchers now understand that this practice works by helping to soothe and regulate the nervous system. For those of us whose bladders are sending those frantic false alarms at 2 or 3 in the morning, pressing the right points helps to gently reset those signals. It's like teaching your body to relax, to wait until there is a real, genuine need, and to allow your precious sleep to continue uninterrupted. I want you to picture an older neighbor, a dear friend, who once felt trapped by these constant awakenings. After learning just a few simple points to press each night, she found herself sleeping for longer and longer stretches, waking with a renewed sense of hope. This is the true promise of acupressure. It is not instant magic. It is a natural, steady reminder that your body has an incredible ability to heal and find balance. A reminder that it can still cooperate with you, even in our later years. It's a dialogue you have with your own body, and now I want to teach you the language. A step-by-step guide to 3 powerful points. Alright, let's get practical. Let me guide you, step by step, through these 3 points. I want you to try this with me, if you can. Find a comfortable place to sit, take a nice, slow breath, and let's begin this simple journey together. Point number 1. The center of the foot. The first point rests quietly on the sole of your foot, a place you may have never paid much attention to before. If you run your thumb about 1 inch below the padded ball of your foot, right in the middle, halfway between the heel and the toes, you will find a small hollow. This tender dip, known in traditional practice as the bubbling spring, is where so many older adults begin their nightly calming routine. To practice this, Sit comfortably in a sturdy chair and place one foot across your opposite knee. Now, use your thumb to press gently but firmly into that hollow spot. Hold a steady pressure there for about 30 seconds. Just breathe. Then, release it slowly. Repeat this process 2 or 3 times on each foot. The pressure should feel firm, a deep connection, but it should not be painful. Think of it as giving your body a gentle, clear reminder, not a harsh demand. The benefit of this simple act is profoundly calming. Stimulating the center of the foot helps to reduce those false urgency signals being sent from the bladder to the brain. It also improves circulation through the lower body, easing tension in tired legs and helping that vital oxygen reach the tissues that need it most. Many people describe a soothing wave of relaxation that travels up their legs after practicing this. Remember the story of Eleanor, that wonderful grandmother from Ohio? On the advice of a close friend, she began pressing this exact point each evening while sitting in her living room chair. She told me that within just 2 weeks, she noticed a profound change. She was sleeping longer, sometimes even right through the night, and waking with a spirit that felt lighter than it had in years. Her story reflects what so many discover. Small, steady practices can quietly transform the very rhythm of your rest. Point number 2. Behind the knee. The second bladder point is hidden in the crease behind your knee. It's located right in the center, between the 2 main tendons that you can feel extending down toward your calf muscle. Though many people overlook this area, it connects directly to nerves that influence both the bladder and the circulation in our lower body. To try it, sit in a comfortable position with one ankle resting on the opposite knee, so the back of your leg is easy to reach. Place either your thumb or your middle finger into the center of that fold, and press gently for about 20 to 30 seconds. Release, and then repeat that gentle motion 3 times on each leg. Again, the pressure should feel steady and supportive, never sharp or uncomfortable. If you feel any pain, just lighten your touch. This point is wonderful for helping to calm those overactive bladder nerves that trigger the nighttime awakenings. It also beautifully supports blood flow in the legs, reducing the heaviness, cramps, and swelling that often disturb older adults after a long day. I think of a widow I know in Texas, a kind woman named Margaret, aged 74. She had almost given up hope of ever sleeping more than 4 hours at a stretch. Her doctor recommended stronger medications, but she longed for something natural. She began pressing the back of her knees each night, pairing the practice with slow, deep breathing. At first, she told me, nothing seemed different. But she persisted. And after about 10 days, she slept a full 6 hours without waking. She said it was something she had not experienced in decades. Her mornings felt brighter, her memory sharper, and her confidence returned. Point number 3. The lower back. The third and final point rests along your lower back. You'll find a point on each side, about 1.5 inches away from your spine, level with the lumbar region where your kidneys sit. Though we rarely touch these points, they have been valued in healing traditions for centuries for their ability to release deep tension and support balance throughout the entire body. To find them, you can place your hands on your waist, as if you're feeling proud, and then slide your thumbs inward toward your backbone. You can press with your knuckles or the heel of your hand while leaning gently against the back of a firm chair or even a wall. Or, you can place a small tennis ball or massage ball between your back and a flat surface. Hold that steady pressure for 30 seconds. Release, and repeat 2 or 3 times. The goal is calm stimulation, not pain. Always move gently and breathe deeply as you press. This lower back point helps to relax those tight muscles that so often stiffen with age, stress, or long hours of sitting. It supports circulation to the kidneys and the bladder, helping to reduce the false signals that wake you in the night. I'm reminded of David, a retired banker in California who had relied on sleeping pills for years. He was convinced his body simply no longer knew how to rest naturally. On the advice of a neighbor, he began pressing these lower back points each evening before bed. At first, he only noticed that his back felt less tense in the mornings. But after 2 weeks, he had a startling realization. He was sleeping 6 uninterrupted hours, and he hadn't even thought to reach for his medication. His mornings felt steadier, his mood more balanced, and that feeling of independence slowly returned. Together, these 3 bladder points form a simple, natural routine that requires no equipment, no cost, and only a few minutes of your time each night. They remind the body to calm its signals, to relax its muscles, and to allow sleep to flow naturally, just as it was meant to. As we come to a close, I want you to think back to the stories we shared. Think about Eleanor in Ohio, feeling drained before her day had even begun. Think about Margaret in Texas, who had almost given up hope of ever experiencing a full night of rest again. And think about David in California, who believed his body had simply forgotten how to sleep without the help of a pill. Their stories are not just stories. They are proof. Proof that a peaceful night's sleep is not a distant memory from your youth, but a real, tangible possibility that is still within your reach. Their peaceful nights are not out of reach for you. Nighttime trips to the bathroom may feel like an unavoidable part of aging, but they do not have to define your later years. Waking up again and again is not your destiny. Gentle, natural methods can and do restore the deep rest your body still so desperately needs. By combining these 3 simple acupressure points with a handful of small, thoughtful lifestyle changes, you create a powerful path back toward balance. You are taking back control, one peaceful night at a time. As we wrap up our time together, please remember that knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important, personal question for you. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself after watching this video? It could be as simple as, I will press the points on my feet each night before bed. Or maybe, I will stop drinking fluids after 7 p.m. Please, share your personal commitment in the comments below. Your public promise is a powerful first step, and seeing your commitment might just be the encouragement someone else needs to start their own journey. Let's inspire each other to take that first, hopeful step. And if you found real value and hope in our time together today, please show your support by giving this video a like. It truly helps this message reach others who need it. To ensure you continue on this journey with us, and never miss another video full of life-changing wisdom, hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a wonderful community of friends, all dedicated to navigating these years together with grace, strength, and health. Finally, think of one person, maybe a friend, a sibling, or a neighbor, who you know is struggling with this in silence. Please, share this video with them. It could be the kindest, most helpful thing you do for them today. Thank you for spending this time with me. Stay healthy, stay hopeful, and I'll see you in the next video.